Hello everyone, welcome back. And let's move ahead with the next topic, that's conditionals and loops in Ansible. So this is going to be a short lecture, as we are well aware about what conditionals and loops are, as most of us will be from a programming background as you. So let's begin. Now, first we'll start with conditionals. So you guys must be well aware about the if-else statements that we use in common programming languages like C++, Java, Python, etc. So conditionals here in Ansible serve the same purpose. So it specifically allows tasks to only run if there is a specific condition that is true. So it uses same Python style syntax, which is very helpful for us to automate based on facts, variables, or task results. So let's look at an example, so you will understand it better. So here, what we want to achieve is that we want to install Nginx only if the operating system that that the host is on is Ubuntu. So as we are aware that apt manager is used by Ubuntu for installing packages. So we have done this same script before, just we have added a new module, that is when. So when here serves as if in other programming language. So when then separated by a semicolon, and we have mentioned the condition that Ansible underscore distribution. This is the fact that was gathered during when Ansible was gathering facts. So if Ansible underscore distribution is equal to Ubuntu, then only this play, that is this task, will run. So this is the example of how conditionals work in Ansible. So here I mentioned that when parameter is used to define the conditions, and in the conditions we can use our normal operators, like similarly how we use in Python, like the AND operator, or operator, not operator, or we can separate multiple conditions using parentheses and the operators. So in that case we can build complex conditions as well, so in front of when. So this is the example of conditionals. Moving on, let's look into loops ahead. So loops, as the name suggests, so like how we use for loops or do while loops in Java, Python, etc. So similarly, in the loops, helps us to run a same task multiple times without repeating the same code, or repeating the same variables on and on again. So instead, we can use loops. So let's dive into the example right away. So this is the example of how a simple loop in Ansible works. So here we have mentioned a loop. In Ansible, we can the module is loop. So under loop, we have mentioned what all variables are should be present in the loop. So we have separated. Now we want to install. Now what this code essentially does is install packages. All right. So we have three packages: Nginx, Git, and curl. So for installing this, ideally without a loop we need to write three tasks, but using the loop parameter instead, we'll just mention the packages that we want to define, want to install on the source OS, and we will as this we need to separate it as a list. So we'll use the dash annotation in front of the packages, and that's it. So once Ansible comes to this part of the task, it will go through the loop first and get all the items inside it. And each entry inside this loop is referred as an item inside Ansible. So it will come back over here, and while apt is running, apt will get the name, and first it will take Nginx. It will mark the state as present and install the package. Further, it will get Git, and further it will get curl. So once item is mentioned over here, it will go through the loop, and one by one, it will pick up the variable from here. All right. That's it for loops and this lecture. And in the next lecture, we will again have a second lab and look into conditionals and loops, and we will go through, we will code together a few examples in it. Thank you.